Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Thank you for joining us again on the thread that's been running throughout the last 2.5 years since all of it. So we've been looking at developing our capacity beyond the impact of the pandemic stress levels that people experience. So try to give some kind of guidance throughout how to maintain mental health. Let's call it now mental health. How to cultivate immunity, natural immunity, how to provide the resources for the body, etc., etc. Whole series of talks, little insights that we have regarding all little burst of energy to do with betrayal, how that would start sweeping the mind of many people, and how that would then encourage and look at the previous October, September, maybe November talks that we did, anticipating human consciousness. So I want to take a few moments first for us to acknowledge the fact that there are people who will sacrifice time, resources, and in the face, we only discover courage in the face of fear, in the face of tyranny, in the face of resistance, in the face of oppression, in the face of that which holds us back, holds us down, and we feel powerless. We own us. Let's call that powerlessness. Yeah. So we begin to recognize that out of that powerlessness, there comes this burst sooner or later in which you break through your own limiting barriers. And this is what is taking place right now in Canada with Ottawa. That is proactive, that is transformative, that is non-violent yet effective. Once the power dynamics begin to shift, which they are when you have, X number of people outside your front door, sooner or later the dynamics of power changes. And this energy you can expect to begin to spiral. So take some time out to send some intention, intentionally wishing well for those individuals who have had the courage to stand up to the tyranny, who have had the time and the resources to stand up for you and I, who may not have been in that. So, in that acknowledgement, in that awareness of that, in that direction of well being, protection, safety, transformation, in that process of giving, in that process of blessing, in that process of showering some intent towards that, we allow that fractal, that energy to begin to take real form. So, for all those who are working in ways to allow individuals to wake up, are adding to this fractal of awakening, this fractal of waking up, this fractal of shift of reality. And the shift of reality now will leave many people in a state of shock. You can imagine that if you lived in a city, all of a sudden, 1 million people congregated there overnight, you too would be considering, how do I deal with this? What's going on? Where's my reality gone? That shock of shift in reality, that shock of shift in reality is to be expected, anticipated, and to be prepared for. Looking at how individuals come to terms with what's going on around them, and then the normality of what was considered even a hint of normality is now so fluid and shifting. So we take a moment to give that acknowledgement, that respect, and for all those around the world, maybe in Spain, Portugal, Italy, France, India, etc., etc. It tends to be predominantly European-controlled countries that tend to have these draconian restrictions. So that's an interesting element. However, anyone who's oppressed anywhere, may they be freed from their oppression. So this is one element of our transformation that's going on, and expect this energy to change, to become from to increase in its momentum, to lead to anger, to lead to rage, lead to um, regret, lead to um, feeling betrayed, and all those emotions motivate people to seek revenge of sort. So it's important to realize that this kind of energy is fluid, but it's dangerous as well, in that it's volatile. So cautious not to get engaged in the dramas. You will also notice that around the world, particularly in the good old Blighty here, that you have these dramas going on about uh, issue. The simple issue is this: during the time of those severe lockdowns that impacted people's health, impacted people's bereavement process, impacted people's families, people's economy, their ability to feed themselves, their well-being, plus 100 other things that are coming out. When that was being enforced with such vigor that there were people being fined if they shared a glass of coffee. There were people being fined if you were seen in a park too near someone. Yet, those who put these laws in in place, they themselves enjoyed freedom. They themselves enjoyed getting together. They themselves enjoyed non-isolation, partying, drinking, consoling, working with each other. Now, this level of betrayal, you can imagine the psychological impact of that on individuals who have been fooled, coerced, or bullied into this situation. And that energy is now starting to bubble up, to percolate. It is now that this moment where one has to remain disengaged from the psychodramas. The whole narrative is now collapsing before your eyes. Just hold it together and stand in your truth, as we always did right from the start. Hold it together, stand in your truth, and allow the narrative to collapse. Allow the repercussions to take place as they take place. However, one does not need to contribute to the aggression, to the violence, to the anger, but to enjoy a moment of transformation, a moment of knowing that while this transformation is undertaking, that you and I and everyone else are blessed to know that this is humanity's shift of consciousness. And we have waited millennia for this moment, absolute millennia for this moment. So now this moment is upon us. Let us embrace it with both hands. Let us embrace it. Why? Because to be human, have a life, is not to live in fear. It's not to live contracted, that, oh my God, everything's going to kill you. You're going to die anyway, like everyone else is. So we're here for a purpose. And we will explore the nature of this purpose as we go along in these talks, because we feel it needs a little bit of groundwork before we bring that particular process in place of what is the process for us to be with ourselves, not to feed anyone, not to change the world, but for ourselves. Ultimately, what do you think you will be left with? When you breathe that last breath, what do you think you will be left with? What will be your last thought? How will you exit from this plane? Right? What if you find that upon exiting, you awaken and you're still you? How do you deal with that? And how, when you awaken through that, You recognize that all that you have ever done in your life, or let's call it lives, is then witnessed, is then experienced, and is then experienced through the consequences. Now, it's important to realize these purposes. It's important to realize this understanding on what is the nature of being human and what is the purpose of life. Why is it important? Because you and I will not get another chance. This is your only chance. Make it through this, otherwise, you're back here. Or you're back in this similar kind of space, life and death, life and death, life and death. How many times do you want to see your mother die, your father die? How many times do you want to be let down by the world? So, this is the wisdom that comes from the tradition that I belong to. A tradition which allows you to realize that life and death are two parts of the same coin. To remove one's consciousness out of this cyclical duality of life and death, life and death, life and death, and all the consequences that come with it. And it's not a secret, as in it's the good and the great will get it. No, the tradition is very clear. It has clear instructions. Those instructions allow us to discover what we are, who we are, to discover the inner anatomy within ourselves, which we will begin to open up, which allows us to migrate and realize that we are not this fixed material body sense of self, but the sense of being human is profound and has huge capacities in order not just about healing and well-being, but in terms of being human. So we will explore these other elements of spiritual emergence, spiritual health, and spiritual emergencies and transpersonal space, because this is where we are going now as a humanity, as a collective space. We are moving into a space in which our nature of reality is now going through its deconstruction space. Our nature of reality, what we consider reality to be, is going through this deconstruction space. Through this deconstruction, meaning things ain't going to go back to Kansas again. Things are never going to be the same again. And hankering or holding on to that will simply delay the process for you and I. So it's better that we realize that which is over, that which is yet to come is yet to come. The key question is, what do we do now? How do we navigate ourselves through this process? And it is through the meditations, which every time we do it as a collective, we stamp something in the Akashic space of here and now. And these little fragments or fractals that we have been planting over the last 2 years, collectively, you and I, collectively, taking our time out simply to join and to be in that space of stillness for whatever reason, that collective consciousness, that shared space has a profound impact over the overall global space that we're all occupying. So remember that each one of us is contributing to that which is beyond our sense of understanding at this stage. But as we move along, we will have the insight. So, over and above that, we lost two phenomenal, what does it mean to be human? And one was our Vietnamese master, and the other was a master from the Sikh tradition, Iqbal Singh Sant and Tachnik Dal Han on the other side. And both of them demonstrated what it meant to be human, what was possible through non-violence. In fact, it's not non-violence, but it is non-aggression. That there's a way of dealing with life through without getting aggressed. And in that, we contribute to the harmony of humanity. So we lost two great leaders, two great lights, but they have left a legacy for many to follow. So let us give us a little bit of focus on those wisdom teachers that go through their life experiences and leave something for you and I. How important it is to have those wisdom teachers. This is what it means to have a guru. This is what it means to have a master. Life is a game. You are born into it. You are not told the rules. Your religions bullshit you into finding something that's beyond you. No one tells you the rules, and we are played against each other for the benefit of the few. The gurus of this world, may it be the Christs, may it be the Buddhas, may it be the Bodhisattvas, may it be Mahavir, may it be Guru Nanak, Kabir, and the infinite other ones, and the women, the BBGs, the Rabias, the Nankis, all of these individuals are worth our acknowledgement and our respect. They are the ones who have, through grace, through their own lineage, understood the rules of the game. And the rules of the game is simple: how to get out of the game. And to get out of the game, you need to look at what, who, and what you are, what you're doing here, how to do it, what are the signposts along the way, and how you create a community to go in that particular process. So in order to know how to get out of the game, you first need to know the game, and you need to know what your role is as a player. So we will explore this in greater detail, hopefully, as we go along. But in the short term, watch the narrative fall apart, watch the officialdom panic, try to bury their crimes. Um, Sooner or later, more and more people will begin to question the media for not showing what's actually going on. The whole world knew about Ottawa, but yet none of the mainstream media were prepared to speak about it. You had people like Joe Rogan speaking simply against the current narrative, and then all of a sudden, everyone from the woodwork comes out to get rid of this censorship. When censorship takes hold of any situation, this is an extremely dangerous path to tyranny, to oppression, and to the loss of what it means to be human. The good news is it's all falling apart. Watch it fall apart. Wherever you can, push it. Don't try and hold on to it, but remain in your comfort, remain in your peace, and contribute through your meditation to these moments of peace, so we consolidate those who have realized that they are free, always have been free, and are fighting for all those who are unable to take the time and the resources to be free. So let us begin our meditation. So today we will move with our normal meditation. And so back is straight and upright. Loosen your shoulders. So it's always a good idea to hunch them and then drop them, so your shoulders are not hunched. Important for the body to have a particular posture. And why that's true is because our meridian channels and our nadis and the various elements that need for energy to move are aligned in the right place, right? So back is straight and upright. Chin is pulled in, so your neck is pulled out. Shoulders are pulled back. And with the shoulders being pulled back, your chest is open. Your eyes are gently closed and your mouth is closed. And what we're going to go through is first just getting accustomed to what's going on within us and with us. So to do that, our intention is to be present. As we breathe in, we gently bring our focus to ourselves. We begin to notice how the body feels. We begin to notice our posture. And just to make sure that we have scanned the body well enough, imagine a hula hoop above your head. And as it begins to descend downwards, it exposes any sensations in your head, but at the same time clearing your body of any stale energy as this hoop moves down, moving down across your face, across your body. The power of intent is enough to clear our chi channels, scanning yourself from the top all the way to the bottom. And then once again, just having a look, observing any sensation that's dominant in the body at this stage. We come to the seat you're on. You notice that you're held in place. In fact, you can't be anywhere else. You can't be anywhere else but with yourself. And right now, the ground beneath you holds you in place. The air in front of you is your breath. And the environment around you that makes you feel warm or cool or cold. The smells around you, the space around you. You're embedded in it. In other words, you can't be anywhere else. Try and see if we can get a sense of here and now. Present now, present here, at this moment. Not at this time, but at this moment. You will notice there are sensations where your body makes contact with your seat. Allow these sensations, the awareness at these sensations to move up your hips. So you become aware of your hips. And as you breathe out, move your focus down to your thighs. From your thighs, you move down from your knees towards your ankles, coming to your feet, and then the soles of your feet. Simply following. Come back to the chair or your seat. Again, just notice how well you held in place. And as you breathe in, back is straight and upright, and you bring your focus gently up towards your middle back. Moving up towards your shoulder blades. Notice your shoulders. And then move your focus towards your elbows. What we're doing is gently scanning different parts of our body. We can take this as long as you want. Noticing what's going on from your elbows, you move down to your wrists. You notice any sensations. You just notice sensing your forearms, moving now to your palms. Notice that you have the ability, the intention. Your intention allows the awareness to move. And you can hold your awareness at your palms. You need a little bit of focus, a little bit of awareness, and a bit of effort to hold your awareness without being distracted by thoughts at the palms. Notice the fingers on your hands. Now, as you breathe in, come towards your eyes, bringing your focus towards your eyes. And you begin to notice the darkness. You have awareness of it. Is there someone who has awareness, or are you awareness itself? Recognize the awareness. As you breathe out, you relax and soften your eyes. Coming back to your breath, and as the breath comes in, move your focus to your mouth. Notice the tongue. See if you can soften the tongue. Relax it. And then as you breathe out, allow your face to relax and soften. On your next breath in, once again, bring your focus to your body as a whole. Notice your posture. Notice how the body feels. And with the next breath in, we move our focus to our inner space. And by that we mean our thoughts and how we're feeling. So bring your focus towards your thoughts. Are there any thoughts there? What are you thinking of, if anything? Bringing your focus to your chest. Notice the movement of your chest, your breath. Little sensations, subtle sensations with the movement of your chest. See if you can notice them. Now bringing your focus a bit deeper into yourself, almost like you're in the center of the chest itself. Hold your awareness there as best as you can. And as you hold your awareness there, you begin to notice how you're feeling right now. Do you feel settled or unsettled? Comfortable or uncomfortable? How do you feel? On your next breath out, begin to listen to the sounds around you. Allowing our awareness to simply Pick up any sound that comes towards us, not looking for them, not seeking them out, not trying to work them out, simply listening. Bringing your focus just beneath your nose and sitting with your breath. Breathe by itself, holding your focus just beneath your nose. Notice how the breath moves in, how the breath moves out. Stay with your breath. Allow the breath to breathe by itself. Noticing the in-breath has a start and an end. Noticing the out-breath has a start and an end. Breathing in, you notice the start and the end of your in-breath. Breathing out, you notice the start and the end of your out-breath, as best as you can. When you find that your focus has been distracted by a thought or my voice or a sound, notice the distraction, deliberately bringing your focus consciously back to your breath. Begin to follow your out breath all the way till the end. See when it finishes organically. And as you follow your out breath towards the end, following it all the way until it completely finishes. As you follow your breath out, you allow your body to soften and relax with each breath out, allowing yourself to move deeper and deeper into this moment of now. Breath. Notice how you're breathing now. Notice how the breath feels. Does it feel fast or does it feel slow? Does your breath feel long or does it feel short? Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel rough? The more intently we watch our breath, the deeper we become present to the moment of now. Does your breath feel smooth or does it feel rough? Does your breath feel warm or does it feel cool? Allowing your awareness to almost become one with the movement of your breath. Does your breath have a sound? Listening to the in breath as you breathe in, listening to the out breath as you breathe out. Listening to the in breath as you breathe in, listening to the out breath as you breathe out, as best as you can. We become present simply through listening. Listening to the in breath as it comes in, listening to the out breath as it goes out. And then using the same intensity to listen, we begin to open our awareness to all the sounds around us, listening as intently as we can. Allow the sound to carry you deep into the silence simply by following it. Notice the quality of your experience. If it feels silent, notice the silence. If it feels peaceful, notice the peace. Holding your focus on the quality of your experience. Bringing your focus gently beneath your nose and just sitting with your breath. Allowing the in-breath moving in, allowing the out-breath to move out. On your next breath out, expanding your awareness to become a whole. Notice the body, notice the stillness of the body. Notice that you're on the same place you began. You can sense your hips, your thighs, moving your focus down from your knees to your ankles, becoming aware of your feet and becoming aware of your feet. Notice that the back is straight and upright. Shoulders are relaxed, as are the arms and the hands. Your eyes are still closed, your mouth is still closed, and your face is relaxed. Coming back to your breath. As the breath comes in, you can sense your body. As the breath goes out, you can sense your body. Breathing in, you can sense your body. Breathing out, you can sense your body. In a moment, you will hear the sound of another bell. Use this bell to bring your focus to few slow, deep breaths in. And then if you wish, in your own good